A warning has been issued on CNN regarding the threats of mud floods, with explicit instructions to avoid all bodies of water, especially the areas near storm drains, creeks, and rivers. And I can't help but draw parallels to the myth of Tartaria, which also involved mud floods. One cannot help but wonder if such events may have been the catalyst for these myths, only to be forgotten and dismissed by later generations, and that would explain why no one remembers. Again, Tartaria and the Tartarian history is all mythology for now. And just like other ancient mythology, a lot of people do believe in it, ultimately resulting in the reconstruction of infrastructures, but at a lower standard. So in the legends of Tartaria, these mud floods occurred after there were these direct weapons, these weather control laser weapons that had targeted certain areas. Described weird hurricanes, weird tornadoes, weird earthquakes, wildfires. Consequently, always these huge mega floods that then became mud floods and wiped away entire civilizations. So the technology was so much more advanced before, but because they wanted to downgrade humanity, they had reset era where nobody remembered what happened. People that were no longer alive. So if everybody passed in these natural calamities and these disasters, who populated afterwards? Listen to this story. Again, just mythology. And they had this thing that would talk about all of these orphans. And this is where the Cabbage Patch Kid legends come from. From these fields of orphans that were brought in by trains, then unloaded into the Cabbage Patch fields. My question is, where'd they get all of these Cabbage Patch Kids? As story goes, these trains and trains of these orphan children would roll in, then unload all of the orphans in the Cabbage Patch, and there were already parents there predisposed. They're ready to get their child. So mysterious and intriguing. There isn't a complete mythology story. There are just these bits and pieces. And then we get really involved and curious to learn more because we see all these photographs where we have these really elaborate buildings on the bottom, underneath, subterranean. And then on top, we have our cities with our buildings, with our roads. But they're a lot less technologically evolved compared to the old stuff. What do you think? Did the mythology of Tartaria start with something like the natural disaster